Good morning.
Good
morning. So happy to see everybody here this morning. Happy birthday to you. Flowers are sponsored by Amy Jo today, and she came. So she gets to take them home.
It's Amy Jo Day.
Wonderful. So, let us begin by affirming that God, omnipresent, is the only presence and the only power. That we live, move, and have our being in God. And that we are surrounded by the peace and love of God. And all is well. And we affirm together, and so it is. Amen. Okay, so we are going to sing our joy song together. So stand when you are able. We're going to sing it through twice. So today, we have guest musician Bob Grubel. He has come from Floyd. Thank you for the drive. I'm happy to have you here. And we have our house musician, Rick Milan. And I will be doing the service today. And who am I? It doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to do a Marita right now, and that is, who would like to stand up and tell us what they're grateful for? What really great thing happened to you this week that you are grateful? And Marita's jumping up. Here she comes.
Yeah. I'm grateful that this is lovely in my life. Hey, and especially with my daughter, which is Ollie. And it's just a privilege and a pleasure to have her with me for the weekend.
Yay! Anybody else?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'm very grateful that this year is ending up really hard, and I'm really glad for my church and my church family that I have the tools in my toolbox to take care of business in a happy and joyful way.
Yay!
Amen.
Amen. And I'm going to say that I'm very grateful. I just finished a 5-month course. It's called the practitioner course in order to become a divine science minister. And I just finished it. The homework was wonderful. I loved every minute of it. It was a lot of work. I was with Marita in Velma, and it was really exciting. And so we would meet on Mondays for about 4 hours usually. And it was a way for me to really solidify my own spiritual life. And it was really a wonderful experience. And so I'm grateful that I got to participate. Thank you, Marita. Okay. Yes.
I'm really grateful for this incredible beauty that has descended upon my life in fall. Floyd has just been stunning this year.
I bet.
And it just has filled me with wonder when I walk outside. I just the appreciation for I get to live and the privilege I have of living it. Just
Okay, so I'm going to do saying 5 from the Gospel of Thomas. And this Gospel of Thomas was written by Dr. Winterhalter, who is a New Thought writer. And so saying 5 will sound very familiar to you. Jesus said, recognize what is in your sight, and that which is hidden from you will become plain to you. For there is nothing hidden which will not become manifest. Jesus is telling us to recognize what is already here and be open to intuition. We must feel God's presence in our lives because it is not hidden from us. We may think it is, but it is not. You walk out the door, there's God. In nature. It is beautiful, so beautiful. It is right here, available all the time. The ideas of the kingdom are made manifest through us in the form of everything we need. We need to live with a new vision of spirit. If we look past the outer and gaze to the inner life, we will see the true basis of health and abundant supply. So every pattern of personal thought and belief and everything we visualize will become visibly manifest in some form or another in our everyday lives. And I'm going to elaborate on this idea of visualization later. Now, let us say our divine science statement of being. Thank you, family. Let's say it together. God is all, both visible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am the individualized expression of God, and am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Thank you. I'm wearing several hats. Would you like to do your first musical interlude?
This is my crutch. I'm hoping I don't need it. What I'm going to do is share a few acapella songs. And the first is a song that I created for a friend of mine, lifelong, for over 50 years. This was written probably 30 years ago. We were together before the time of rainbows, before the time of stormy weather. We were dancing where there was only color, where there was light so pure the floor beneath our wings was found. And if we wanted to kiss, we made it a wish and we sighed. Everything was sacred, and it really didn't matter if we were lost or found or high or low. There was such beauty, such everlasting beauty. The only thing that touched our inner eye, if we wanted to kiss, we made it a wish and we sighed. So what happened here? How did we lose what's dear by far? Living in a body can be so much illusion, can be so much confusion that we cry out for mercy, for tender love and mercy, from judgments that we made ourselves in years gone by. And if we wanted to change, we accept the pain and realize what we're doing here is loving all those fears. What we're doing here is loving all those tears. What we're doing here is loving all those fears and let them fly, fly, fly. Sometimes it's old brain works. If I had to read the name, but you want So I'm going to try to do a song here that would be helpful. I think we're going to make this work. It turns into a round once you finish it. And so when we go break off, when I break off into the round part, you guys and you're going to already know it, so you're just going to keep going with the way it's going. It's really simple. Nothing complicated. So we can shine. So just sing along with me, and once we've got enough energy behind it, we'll break it into round. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. We can shine, we can shine. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. We can shine, we can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow through your soul. We can shine. One more. This is a call and return. So I'm going to sing a line, and you're going to sing it back to me. And the third line is kind of overlaps with the beginning of the first one. So you'll feel that as bring peace to the world, bring love to your heart, bring joy to your life. I'll sing it. Sing back. Bring peace to the world. Bring peace to the world. Bring love to your heart. Bring love to your heart. Bring joy to this day of life. Bring joy to this day of life. Bring peace to the world. Bring peace to the world. Bring love to your heart. Bring love to your heart. Bring joy to this day. Bring joy to this day of life. Bring peace to the world. Bring peace to the world. Bring love to your heart. Bring love to your heart. Bring joy to this day. Bring joy to this day. Bring peace to the world. Bring peace to the world. Bring love to your heart. Bring love to your heart. Bring joy to this day of life. Bring joy to this day of life. Bring peace to the world. Bring peace to the world.
I think we were better with the round than we were with the call and response. That was wonderful. Thank you, Bob. That was fabulous. Okay, it was right in the mood for the meditation. So, now is that time when we get to be quiet. So I'm holding our prayer basket here. And I would like for you to think of someone personal to you, who you think could use a little extra loving thoughts today. And I would like for you to think of them. I don't know whose names are in this basket, and it doesn't matter. Because God knows. So as you think of your person who you would like to send love to, we steadfastly hold the truth that each one that you are thinking of right now, and each one whose name is in this basket, is a child of God, made in God's image, and that God, omnipresent, is is always with every single one of them, as right action, as love, as wisdom, as abundance, protection, and health. We see them as God sees them, whole, loved, and loving, filled with the potential for joy, harmony, and peace. We place each one into the care and keeping of God, and we know that all is well for each and all. And now, keeping our eyes closed, let's take a cleansing breath. I want to hear it. Come on. Just let it out. Let it out. Relax your body. Feel the calm and feel the gentle music. We are relaxed. I hope that you didn't come in here with anything, holding on to anything, but just in case you did, let's make fists. Make fists with both of your hands. And I want you to take a deep breath. This holding on to the fist is what you're holding on to. Let's take a deep breath. Let it out. Open your hands. And symbolically, let it all go. Anything you brought in with you today, you can fix it later. But right now, let's just drop it. Drop it on the floor. Be willing to just let go. Now smile. Smile. Let us step into that place where we commune with the divine presence within our consciousness. Breathe. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Be still and know that I am God. God is light, God is love, and unspeakable beauty. And the beauty and glory of God's presence now fills my soul. My soul is a temple of the living God. It is now filled with peace, with harmony, and joy. There are no shadows. There are no dark places. There are no dark corners. My soul is filled with the golden light of the presence of God. I claim that God is the only presence and the only power in my life. I claim that God is infinite life, and that infinite life is my supply. I know that God created me and sustains me, and all is well, no matter the outer appearance. I claim that God enlightens and teaches me all the things that I need to know. In some good way, all the things I need to know come to me. I claim that God is infinite spirit, perfect and pure. The nature of God is all-powerful, omnipresent good, and boundless love. I know that this boundless love is now taking care of me and arranging all of my affairs. With the eye of faith, I perceive this to be true right now. I rejoice in this and I give thanks. The language of the present is the language of silence. Let us abide there in love where we are lifted up. I will never leave you nor forsake you. You have nothing to fear, for I am with you always. We give thanks for this time away from our busy lives, knowing that God is always right here, where we are, and always available. All we have to do is turn with Him. While we are in this quiet space, let us say together the Aramaic translation of the Lord's Prayer. Let us say it together. Our Father, who is everywhere, your name is sacred, your kingdom is come. Your will is throughout the earth, even as it is throughout the universe. You give us our needful bread from day to day, and you forgive us our offenses, even as we forgive our offenders. And you let us not enter into materialism, but you separate us from error. Because ours is the kingdom, the power, and the song and praise, from all ages, throughout all ages, sealed in faith, trust, and truth. Amen. I almost said ours is the kingdom. Which eventually it is.
I suppose it is.
That's right. When we get to that place of total harmony, we are in the kingdom. Okay, so a new perspective on the ferocious animals: the duck, the chicken, and the anteater. Bob, you didn't think that was even slightly interesting?
No.
Oh, is that a smile? Okay, good. I thought, oh, he's grimacing. Oh boy. All right, this is a good way to start the morning. Okay, the law of visualization is a cosmic law that involves the training of the eyes to see properly. In human consciousness, we are led to believe that a thing is as it is. After all, seeing is believing. I see it, I believe it, and what are you going to do? That's the way life is. Sight cannot be categorized so quickly, however. It is more than just seeing the appearance. It also deals with perception. However, the mind does not actually see the object as a thing. The mind sees that which its own awareness perceives. So in a real sense, we need to turn that old adage around. Not seeing is believing, but believing is seeing. What I believe about something is how I ultimately will see it. It depends on what you are and where you are in consciousness at any given moment. This is why Jesus said, do not judge by appearances. If we live our life from the outside in, then we tend to become tentative, suspicious, maybe even a little paranoid. And then every person, every condition, every experience has the power to push our buttons, the power to determine how we think, feel, and act. In this way, most people live life through what continually happens on the outside. Well, of course I'm angry. I'm upset. Look what he's done. Well, of course I'm fearful. Have you been reading the newspaper and watching the news lately? This is a natural reaction, we said. Everyone feels the same way. This reaction is actually based on the way we view life. If we follow the course of the world outside, then we allow it to determine our life. But if we believe that life is lived from within, and if we establish ourselves in wholeness as a spiritual being, and with our own ability to control what goes on in our own mind, which is the mind of the infinite, then we have the capacity to read into things we see that which we feel, that which we believe, instead of letting the world do it for us. And appearance is not a valid criterion by which to judge a thing. This is what Jesus was getting at, I think. But we say, well, there it is. We all see it. You see it as I see it, right? But the fact is, we don't. No two people see anything exactly the same. Because we see a thing not as it is, but from the perspective of what we are. Now let's think of the lowly ant for just a moment. If the ant were to divide the animal kingdom into two categories, it might look like this. The kind and gentle animals like the lion, the tiger, and the rattlesnake. And the ferocious animals like the chicken, the duck, and the anteater. Well, now this seems ridiculous to us, right? But that's his world, and that's the way he sees it. He, the ant. The duck, the chicken, and the anteater are dangerous to him, and everything else is benign. Righteous judgment is concentrical seeing, which means just seeing from within. When you see concentrically, you see a thing not as it is, but from the perspective of where you are. The important thing is that if you are going to change your world, we must begin to discipline ourselves to see beyond the limitation. The appearance is always limited. It is never the whole story. We must just not stop with the facts. Oh, and that's the way things are. But you say to yourself, you could say, is that the way I am? The way I'm seeing this? Is that the way I want to see things? So I can change all of that by changing where I am and how I see it. We can call this developing a cosmic perspective. This is called the holistic approach. It is seeing things in the context of the whole, because everything is a part of the whole. The poet Robert Browning put it like this: on the earth a broken ark, and in the heavens a perfect round. We see many broken arcs in our consciousness. We desire to see heaven or harmony. Every person embracing limitation is frustrating the wholeness that he potentially is. This is what sin is. It is the frustration of our wholeness. Evil is the concealment of good. It is never a thing within itself. Seeing with a cosmic perspective, you see beyond the limitation, seeing the whole person, seeing the whole situation. This is what in the East they call the namaste consciousness. You see the divinity within the other person from the divinity within yourself. It is not the easiest thing to do, especially when you are reacting negatively to something outside yourself. It is so important to understand the potential and then to practice it, to see holistically and not in pieces. To look beyond the appearance, no matter what you see, anything that's disturbing or difficult, confusing or limited, or what you're going to call evil, you can say to yourself, but I am only seeing part of the picture. I am seeing the thorny arc. My need, if I am going to make a helpful contribution to the situation, is to at least keep myself in perfect peace and not react negatively to the partial experience, but rather to get myself into that consciousness of wholeness. So, let us see with a heavenly perspective, with the cosmic perspective. What we want to do is we want to lift our consciousness. Blessed are the pure in heart. Well, that's the person who is so pure in consciousness that he sees divinity. And in that consciousness, he sees God everywhere. Much like a person wearing glasses with pink lenses will see everything tinged with pink. If you are peering at the world through God-colored glasses, God-colored consciousness, then God is what you will see. You will see God everywhere because you see from the consciousness of God. You will see love, you will see truth, you will see beauty everywhere you look, despite or in spite of those outer conditions. It's a mystical awareness. I'm not saying it's easy. It's just a really wonderful idea to work towards. Our need is to lift our eyes to get a heavenly perspective and then to actually project that perspective. And I don't mean heavenly like up there in the sky. I mean harmony. We lift our consciousness into harmony. Okay, well, how are we going to do that? In Hebrew and in Sanskrit, the root word of I, E-Y-E, our eyes, right, is the word ayin, A-Y-I-N, which literally means fountain. The eye does not simply record outer things that register in the brain. Our eyes do much more than that. The eye is essentially a fountain. If you see something, you project something. You don't take something in. If we see from a creative influence, then we can create good wherever we go. If we see from this perspective, we go out into the world and we give everything a dose of cosmic praise. We become an influence for good. We do this unconsciously. Sight is actually a projection of something. The eye is literally a fountain pouring forth. We are looking at this spiritually and cosmically and not in a physical way. So, you pour forth good or ill according to your level or your perspective. If we talk about poverty, war, rumors of war, the state of the economy, politics, then we are actually part of the cause. Did I say that out loud? I did. But if you think of it deeply, you will see. If people are committing crimes on the street and you are actually physically there observing it, or you see that on TV and you go, oh, look at them, this is terrible. And you can only think about how horrible it is, then you are part of the cause. You're part of the problem. I know this is really hard. It's a very interesting concept. But remember, we're talking about what we're seeing, we're projecting. So are we projecting, oh no, I can't believe it, or something good is going to come from this. I don't know what it is, but something good will come. We're going to look at it from a larger viewpoint. If when seeing a condition, without blinding your eyes to it, and knowing that your sight has projected something positive, then you can project the realization that there is actually something good in that situation. And then you become part of the cure, as it were. You are not going to solve it with your ego perspective, but at least you will not be adding negatively to it by looking at it for all its negativity. You want to become an influence for good, even a messy desk. The medieval mystic, Brother Angelo, said this. This is a tongue twister. I don't know how he figured this out. It rhymes even. That thou seest, man, become to thou must. God, if thou seest God. Just, if thou seest just. So what are we projecting? What are we seeing? Are we looking through God consciousness glasses? Or are we looking through, the ain't it awful glasses? What are we doing? We have a choice. We always have a choice. So again, we're talking about something mystical. And it may seem unrelated to your life, but actually it's not. So, the problem is, how do you change what you see if what you see is limited or negative? How do I stop the crime, as it were? Now, you can't go around being a do-gooder, because you can't go around deciding that you're going to set things right. From a spiritual perspective, what we would like to do is to see things rightly. We're going to have a second golden rule. My purpose in life is not to set things right, but to see them rightly. Don't try to straighten that guy out, or that person who irritates you to death, that one who is so annoying. Don't try to set him right, but make sure you straighten yourself out first and see it rightly. Now here's a technique you can try. So let's say that you have a problem with it's looming large in your life, and it's really bugging you. And the appearance of it is disturbing. So we're going to do a little experiment. I'd like you to close your eyes. And I want you to think of a difficult person, situation, or challenge. Something very, very simple. Not something big and complicated. Something that is unnerving you. And is in the forefront of your consciousness. Now, we're going to go down to the river and there's a dock there. And you're going to place that annoying situation at the end of the dock and you're going to get into a canoe. I want you to see yourself rowing away from the dock. And the thing that's annoying you is on the end of the dock. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where you can't even see it anymore. Now that you get the realization that you are rowing away from the problem and into the realization of wholeness, you've left the broken ark at the end of the dock. You can't see it anymore. Now you are part of everything good. You are part of wholeness and completeness. You get this feeling that oneness is your only reality. And now you open your eyes and you literally see God. You see from God consciousness. You've left the situation. It is not even in your purview anymore. You haven't changed it, but you have changed the way you see it. Now you see the condition from a higher point of view. Now, the only way you can keep this positive aura about yourself is to prepare yourself spiritually every single day. Do not look to anything outside yourself to determine how you feel. Don't get on the scale. Don't look in the mirror. Don't talk to your spouse about it. Don't look in the newspaper. Don't ask your boss. And don't talk to your doctor. They only get to determine how you feel if you give them the power to do that. Instead of, I wonder what today's going to bring. You get yourself established in the consciousness of the whole, and you see yourself from this consciousness. You can look in the mirror and give yourself a dose of cosmic praise. You can read the newspaper and bless all the situations. See, that's very different in reading the newspaper and going, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But you bless the situations knowing that the best outcome will arrive. You go to the office and you give your boss a raise by raising your consciousness about him or her. And you will draw forth something entirely different from that person. Just like I was talking about throwing pink blankets of love over everybody a couple of weeks ago. So let's get rid of the seeing as believing and let's pick up the believing as seeing. When we engage in concentrical thinking, we are engaging in a healing consciousness. We're going to see beyond appearances as Jesus was asking us to do. We see through the illness, through the circumstance, through the broken ark, to the allness. The illness is the broken ark, and the allness is the harmony of heaven, which is what we're looking for. We can believe more about sufficiency, really, than we actually see. I talked about the $3 consciousness before. There's a big difference between, I have $3, and I only have $3. You can even make two different faces when you look at it. I only have $3 attracts more nothingness. And I have $3 attracts more because you feel more, you see more, and so you get more. It is a matter of perspective. Remember that money is depletable, but substance, with a capital S, of which everything is made, is always available. You may not have enough money, but there is always enough substance, and you can call it forth by your attitude. If you see the $3 as abundance, then a whole stream of positive elements will come forth to fill your life with more money, in often very miraculous ways. The positive stream fills your consciousness. So raising consciousness will attract what you need. Thomas Troward, the late 19th century British New Thought writer and Christian mystic, articulates the law of visualization like this. Having seen and felt the end, you have willed the means to the realization of the end. We are talking about using your word for a definite purpose. Not, I got a cold last week. Did I try to get that cold? No. Sometimes there's subconscious things that happen that make those things come upon us. But I'm talking about using your word for a definite purpose. So let's take a situation where you would normally always be angry and irritated, but you see yourself calm and relaxed. They did experiments on smoking cessation. And they used a Freudian method, and they did hypnosis and all kinds of things. They also used this method, where situations where people are always smoking, they saw themselves in those same situations, but not smoking. And more people stopped smoking using that method. I thought that was amazing. So we can choose to change our thoughts. They can either be downtrodden or transcending. We are not like the animals which come with a blueprint, which we call instinct, right? A hummingbird has to build a hummingbird nest exactly the same way as every hummingbird ever happened, and will always do. We have the power to build our nest any way we want. Nobody's going to tell us how to build our nest. We have a divine image implanted within us, and we call that the Christ image. Some of us never experienced this, and as the poet says, we die with our music still in us, never being aware of this wonderful divine potential. We can each reach for the moon, or we can keep our nose to the grindstone. It's our choice. We choose every single day. We are made to succeed, but if we entertain failure thoughts, then we are doomed to failure. What we see, we will ultimately experience. So let us broaden our horizons, and instead of embracing smallness, let's embrace wonderfulness. So let us see ourselves differently. Let us give up this idea of setting things right for seeing things right. So, where are you in consciousness? What are the pictures in your mind? If you don't like them, you can change them. You have the power to do that. So, you can set things on the end of the dock and row away, and then open your eyes and feel wholeness and oneness. And we can see life from that new perspective. So let's get still for just a moment. Take a good look at yourself in the mirror of truth. Even if you don't like what you see and you sense the need for improvement, it's okay. Acknowledge in this moment that this is a new beginning. Row away from the dock. Leave all your issues, all the things that you're holding on, just leave them behind. Get the feeling you're rowing away from that appearance into wholeness. This is the Christ in you. Give yourself a dose of cosmic praise. You can say to yourself in the mirror of truth, I salute the divinity within you. In this consciousness, let us know what Jesus said. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And we all affirm together, and so it is. Bob, music. Thank you.
Music, I want to share a few things. I have a thought to add to what Nancy said. My phrase, I am another you. So, in my life, another gratitude is that last November, I woke up from a dream and I was singing a song, and I heard a voice say, you got to write your autobiography. Well, I had never considered anything like that in my life. It's like, are you kidding me? But later in the day, I figured, well, okay, if this is going to happen, I'm going to see what happens. So I sat down about 3 in the afternoon, and I wrote 2 pages. And it kind of came, poof, and it was like, next morning I was up at 5:30 for about 10 days. And it was like, okay, something really Now, it didn't just go boom. There was lots of herky-jerkies along the way, and times I took off, particularly from like Thanksgiving till early in the next year, middle of January, I didn't do anything. And I wondered if it would come back to the So anyway, it's called I Was Being Defined. It just got published, right?
Ooh.
This is the sample copy. This is got the line here. We want to check it out later just to look at it. It's on Amazon. It's 180 pages. I cannot explain this to my life, and I went through so much review in doing this. I had conversations one day. I talked about this. I talked for 8 hours to 4 different people, and just digging into what we experienced together. So I would have a clear thing. I had people show up in my life that I thought I lost contact with, and I lost 5 really close friends. And that became down below. About 5 weeks ago, a man who I talked to I would least once a week for the last 20 years since he left Lloyd. A really close friend, just keeled over in his car. They found him. He pulled it over at least, and he was dead behind the steering wheel. Well, you figure I got 15 years. You even have 15 days. And I just figured out the law in the transit. I had fun doing this. It was challenging. The publishing part was insane. And I think I've published 139 songs, and all the work that I've published, plus a few that I haven't published. I've got about 7 songs that I haven't recorded. I'm still writing some. And I try to stay true to some of the thoughts that you shared. I don't know if I've tried. In writing the book, I didn't want to pontificate. So I let the music do that. So I try to keep it true to the spirit of what I find. So the title track is a song I wrote after a conversation with Tom Williams. Some of you know Tom. I played in Graceland with him for 25 years. And in the early 90s, we had this conversation about how we both fly, levitate. And I just had a levitation going up 3 weeks ago. I can do this, and it rings, and I just go up, and it's incredible for me. It's just amazing, and I'll go flying around, whatever. So I had this conversation 2 years later with this song. It's been one of my favorite songs to play for years. I'm going to share the song with you. Go online, it's a Kindle version, a paperback if you're interested at all. It's there, the Kindle version features are better. Because it's just, it's technically cleaner or something like that. The paperback features are okay. It's all right. Thank you for having me back too.
It's way on.
I couldn't hear myself. I'm going to start over again. Always dreamed of flying, then I left the ground, and I found myself so high and looking at the stars all around. I really was suspended, waiting to come down. Then I opened up my eyes, and here is what I actually found. Little children all alone, big people that got no home. Mother Earth on the run, crazy people with all these guns. Still I always held this faith that it will out. God, unbelievable. Oh. And I keep turning boys inside out. The situation is changing like a bold sunset. There's a here's a vision of what we could get. Golden trust to emerge. Something deeper than a spoken word. Tolerance for every kind. Awesome love, open our hearts and minds. I always dreamed of flying.
world. Everyone built up love and not despair. Love and not despair. Yeah, love and not despair. Yeah, love and not despair. And not despair. Thank you. I'm going to turn the toast.
Oh, thank you, Paul. That was lovely. Fantastic. Okay. So, now we are going to say the blessing of the gifts. And for us, this is the idea that we all share our talent, our time, and our treasure. And we are very grateful for all those who participate. So, let us say this together. Today, I acknowledge God, omnipresent, as the source of all good, as the source of my good. With this acknowledgement, I accept God's will, which is abundance in every aspect of my life. I release all thoughts of lack and limitation, and I am open and receptive to the increased flow of abundance to me right now. I joyfully accept the gifts of life and give freely of the special gift that I am. Through me, God omnipresent blesses and multiplies this gift for all. Thank you, dear God. And now, Pam has some announcements. I have $3.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're missing us some Jan, but I'm sure she's having a good time with her friends this weekend.
Okay, bending over is ridiculous. I'm sorry, I gotta. Oh,
I could just talk about it.
you could do that, but then, wow, I want this. Let's see, Rick is tall and he has to come up to this mic. That would even work better. Thank you. Thank you. The obvious is always the best, right? Thank you.
It's all a matter of perspective.
That's right. Thank you.
This is important. Next Sunday is fall back time. So there probably will be an all call this week to remind you, but it always affects us on Sunday morning. So I'm here to remind you that daylight savings time disappears next week. We're so happy that you're here, Nico. It's your day. It was my job to announce that the flowers were for you this week. We are still taking donations for Spring Tree. We're out of work. There's a little table here that's starting to collect objects, tissues, socks, single package toothbrushes and toothpaste. And there is also in the annex back here a sign-up sheet for Thanksgiving. We will be having a Thanksgiving meal here where people can bring a dish to share, and the leaders will be cooking a turkey, right? Yeah. And so there's a sign-up sheet out there. So if you want to come join us for Friendsgiving, we'll be having that day. And that's it. Let's go.
Okay. Thank you. So I changed up the end for today. Instead of separately doing the unity prayer of protection for all the trouble spots in the world, and instead of us spending time doing a little personal meditation about America, trying to see the best, Rick is going to read the prayer for world peace instead. Oh, I didn't know that was on.
It is.
Oh, yay. And it's tall. Thank you.
What Nancy didn't tell you is she's adapted some writings from Ernest Holmes, science and mind writer, to whom she has introduced us in whose writing, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
I am enamored. This man consistently speaks spiritual truth, and you'll hear that ring through in this prayer. We know there is but one mind, one power, one principle, which is God, in which all people live and move and have their being. We know there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern there is infinite harmony and peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness. We know that the mind of humankind, being one with the mind of God, shall discover the method, the way, and the means best fitted to permit the flow of divine love between individuals and nations. Thus, harmony, peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness are experienced by all. We know that there shall be a free interchange of ideas, of cultures, of spiritual concepts, of ethics, of educational systems, and scientific discoveries, for all good belongs to all alike. We know that because the infinite presence has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect union. We know that all people and all nations shall remain individual but unified for the common purpose of promoting peace, happiness, harmony, and prosperity. We know that deep within each person, the divine pattern of perfect peace is already implanted. We now declare that in each person and in leaders everywhere, this divine pattern moves into action and form, to the end that all nations and all people live together in peace, harmony, and prosperity forever. We all affirm together. And
So it is. Thank you, Rick. Now we get to sing again. So we're going to stand, we're going to sing Flow, Spirit, Flow. We're going to go through this twice. May the love with which God enfolds us be felt by each one of us today and every day. May we loosen the tightness around our own heart and engage in loving kindness towards ourselves and others. May we develop an unconditional good heart toward all we encounter, and we affirm together